everyone, you are back with the Connect. It's me, Ali Iona, and today I am here with Vital. How are you?
Oh, I am absolutely great, man. I feel good, man. I feel absolutely nice.
Good. It's a nice sunny day. It does help.
Listen, I'm in a secret location in a conservatory. And the sun's just I'm sun-kissed right now when I go over here, so I'm blessed.
I'm feeling it. It's good. But how have you been in terms of like the lockdown? The past year that we've had has been mad. Like, how have you been throughout all of that?
Do you know, honestly, I think more than anything, I've said this to someone before, I've had to really understand what resilience is, as, you know, just being an artist or just being a person who works for themselves and then works for people and works with people and balancing money and balancing creativity and motivation. Like, it's like I've had to try, and I'm not perfect at this, to give myself some time to rest and to be okay with not doing as much output as I used to. Like, just because the times ain't the same, and my body and my mind has to adjust to the fact that I'm in my house all the time. I'm not getting the vitamin D that I should get, you know what I mean? Like, all that kind of stuff. So it's been difficult, I can't even lie, it's been very difficult. But within that, there's been loads of blessings, man. Like, my family is really connected, whether it's over FaceTime or whatever, you know what I mean? So I feel like I've got to, I don't know, be around my family, like, in a different way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. In terms of that pressure you mentioned, like taking time out, do you feel that affected you as an artist as well? Because I know creatively, you kind of there are some people that did a lot and there's some people that didn't. And I think there's no right or wrong. It just depends on where you're at and where you're at, basically.
So for me, March, in January last year, I planned the tour. It's going to be Wolverhampton, Birmingham, and London. The order was Wolves, Brom, London, I think. So I managed to do the Wolves show March 12th, and then, like, I showed the next day, it was like, that was a Friday or something. The Monday was the beginning of lockdown. So I literally just accidentally caught that period. So imagine I'm on a high from doing a really amazing show. It went well. It was a different experience, like an art gallery / listening party / performance. And then now I'm stuck and I've got to ask people if they want their refunds for the rest of the shows. And then I've got to think, okay, so what am I doing now? Because my vision board for the year is almost non-existent at this point now. I can't really do anything. So I just thought, what do I always do? I make music, and so let me go make some music. And then the project that was linked to that show almost in a weird way fizzled out, because it's like I made that project for a purpose and now that purpose is gone, so my head's not in that space. So it sounds silly, but I made another project to kind of match to how I felt, and then I used that energy. I created a film, and I think, just to answer the question quickly, I just went with the flow, man. Like, I just thought, okay, this is what we're doing, so let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why am I worried that I can't perform even though I am? Let me work with social media. Let me go on live, like everyone's on live. Let me just do it, even if I don't like it or understand it. Let me just see where I can find my niche. And it went from me trying to do like Instagram performances to me just doing like weekly conversations with people, which gave me a similar satisfaction as performing on a stage. You know what I mean? So work with it, man.
I've seen your lives. I think it's really cool because outside of like people's music, you want to see them, do you know what I mean? Like, anyone, not to say that anyone could, in fact, anyone can rap about anything, anyone can sing about anything, but whether they're actually living it is another story. But when you sit down and hear people speak now, this is when you really get like a feel for their personality and like what they're really about. So no, I rate you for doing it. I think more people should do it. I think sometimes people get caught up in doing the latest TikTok trend or just the other foolishness, but just sit down and talk.
So what you said about this is a problem for me. So I was like, okay, firstly, two things. By me doing these talks, I've been able to connect with my audience or newer audiences a lot more on a personal level, which is, like you said, have allowed them to understand me even more so, and in some cases reignite a certain connection, because it gets lost sometimes. You know, some people don't use their account anymore, so they stop seeing your stuff and then they forget about you. Like, it's cool, but it's allowed me to reconnect, and it's also allowed me to understand I don't have to be on every social network doing every trend. like, let's say, because live was or is a trend, like people are doing it because everyone's doing it, but I found a niche in it just to literally give people a platform, including myself, to vent, talk, express and connect. That's all it is. At first it was based off like George Floyd's passing and how I felt about that and what I've gone through. Then it turned to like, I'm on like the 44th episode, so every week I've done one, so nearly a year of me doing it. And it went from just like specifically talking about Black people, that our struggles, our experiences and our successes, to like, I don't know, domestic abuse in relationships, because it's now, let's talk about us on a whole like human race, like what are we all going through that we're struggling with, you know what I mean? Like, and for me, it is really about, I kind of follow a trend if I want to, but I would never find any satisfaction from doing a TikTok dance. I don't dance. I'm not gonna dance, you know what I mean? Like, so one of those, man.
No, I hear you. And in terms of your upcoming project, Radioactive, you obviously mentioned you had something out, but this is now where you're at. Talk to us about that, please.
It's the weirdest one. So Give Thanks was the project I put out to do this tour, and then I made a project in the middle of like lockdown called Need is Different from Want, and that was just about me realizing, okay, I'm in a space where all the things I thought I wanted, I never really needed. So let me focus on what I need. And it sounds silly, but a place to stay, loving family, my future. Those are the things I need to think about. So in the midst of making both of these projects, from like 2018, I've been working on a project called Radioactive. I was meant to drop, or at least, you know, I'm gonna start promoting it in, I think, the start of 2019. But I went on a tour, I went Canada. So I thought, you know what, let me not do it while I'm busy. And then fast forward, I've been like working on this project. And if I dropped it then, complete different project to what it would have been now. So, you know, things happen how that happens. So right now, and it's weird, I'm gonna say some stuff and you're gonna think, what? It's a 17-track project, and who the hell drops a 17-track project unless you Drake or something in it, yeah? But there's a technique to it, and I'm giving you the source right now. I'm not doing it to, I don't care who listens to it on the day. I know it sounds mad what I'm saying, but bear in mind, I've been working on it for 2+ years. So I'm so embraced, or I can't forget the word, I'm so invested in the music individual that I could just put them out one by one, but I feel like that's a headache. What I want to do, I want to package it. It's like, yo, this is like the best of me right now. And as in, I've gone back and tweaked songs and I've made them better. So it's like, when I drop it, take it in whenever you want, because this is the only music I'm going to put out, promote, showcase, perform for the next year. That's where my head's with it. And I think if I put it out, and let's say it comes out, March, from March till June, or March and April, I'm performing or practicing or showcasing just 2 of the tracks from it. The next month after, I'm going to showcase 2 of the tracks from it. So my point is, every time you listen to one of those tracks, you go back to the full project. So it's almost like giving you an idea of where all this music comes from, rather than here's a single, here's another single, here's another single, then the project's here. But by the time that's happened, you're bored of the whole project because you've already heard it. Does that kind of make sense? It's a bit of a backwards thing. Yeah, man, that's where my head's at with it. And another thing I'm trying to do is, I've had it on pre-order since like I've uploaded it. So I'm getting people to pre-order it from iTunes, not Apple Music or Amazon. Again, because it's chart registered, I want to see if I can get a chart position. And honestly, if it's 100 in the charts, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm gonna say, like, just to see it be my name under my own company, it say I am Vital Powers Red. That alone is like sick. You know what I mean? Like, I had success with a project that I put out in 2016 called Powers, and that went like top 20 in the iTunes charts. And I was trying to like break down how that even happened, and I realized because people were buying it, not streaming it. So I'm trying to get people to just purchase, and it's like, I know we just met each other, yeah? Well, let's say we knew each other for like 3 months, and I said, yo, let me a tenner. Or no, can you give me a tenner? You'd be like, oh yeah, cool, it's nothing, like, what do you need for me to buy this thing? And I ain't got no money. All right, cool. So I've had a lot of people want to tell me that they support me and whatever else, and especially over like COVID, because everyone's a lot more free. And I've just been like mentally tallying up all these people, and I'm like, yo, I've really got a good fan base, in a sense of, I would prefer to have 100 people that, that like what I do, than to have 1 million followers and no one actually really interacts with me and whatever else, you know what I mean? So these 100 people, for example, I've kind of put it in a space of, if I can get them all to respectfully support like they said they want to, because it's never a forced thing. If no one wants to do it, that's fine. But if I get them all to purchase my project for £10 to £15, whatever it is, and it's because it's going into the charts or whatever, I feel like I can be in a better place to be in better conversations and elevate in different spaces, you know what I mean? And realistically, it's about perception. People want to see that you're doing well. Doesn't matter if you are or not. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to make sure that I've covered that, but in the same sense, giving people quality music and I'm directly connecting with people. Like, that's important to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I like the concept that you have for the projects. I think, I don't know, I wouldn't even be able to say how long, but I feel like sometimes people just fling out work for the sake of saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, here, and I'm like, oh, like, did you even take time with that? Like, do you know?
Yeah.
And even the fact that we've gone from having like a 22 track CD to now at 14, like I'm seeing 15 and thinking, oh, 18, raw, like that's mad. Yeah. But it's just, people are just flinging stuff out for the sake of it, and it's like
people talk about attention span, like kids and adults, or everyone's got a low. I don't think we have a low attention span. I think there's just too much noise, so it's hard to focus when there's too much things going on. So I would prefer, for example, people respect Kendrick Lamar, but he drops an album every 2.5 years. Drake drops one every year. People still take them both in similarly. The difference is Drake is put himself in a position to have to put out music all the time. But then Kendrick Lamar says, well, I've dropped 3 albums, for example, and that's what you get in, and I'll drop one whenever I want to. So to me, that creates a greater anticipation and a greater need for that kind of music or that kind of energy. And I just think, again, it's about the trends and the follow and the challenges. People are going with the trends and challenges and not thinking about the quality of what they're delivering. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So, yeah.
When I think of people with like holding onto music, I always think of Rihanna, because I'm such a Rihanna fan. And she's like, stop asking me about this album. I'm like, oh. But respectfully, I get it. I would rather her not do it than just drop out foolishness. Mm-hmm. And as she said, be tired of performing it, because there's some tracks she's like, I don't want to perform it anymore. It doesn't resonate. Mm-hmm. And I have to respect her because she's still a human. I think we forget like these artists aren't just for your consumption. They're a person too, and they have to enjoy it ultimately, and that's how you get through quality and quantity.
True. There is a line though, man, because I'm not no fool, man. I'm in a position, or I'm in a realm of music or industry where I'm providing a service, so I can't just provide a service, ask people to support it, and then tell people, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I think that's slightly unfair. Like, there's a level to it, you know what I mean? But I get it, there's a balance, so I don't know.
Thank you. And in terms of being an artist from Wolverhampton, how do you think that affects you and your music?
If we talk in a positive light, it's just that there's less noise, so I can make a bigger impact. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whether it's either in my city or just being from the city in other cities, if that makes sense. And then in the sense of a negative mind frame or whatever, or impact, is that there's a lot of people with I don't know, small city or small village mentality where only one person can make it, but if they start making it, the city pulls them back. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I mean in the sense of like, yo, like a man will come up to me and say, yo, I want to support you. I'm like, cool. And then his support might be, yo, play my song on radio one time, on a community station. And then if I do something really well, it's like, yo, but you didn't help me. And I'm like, what? Or you think you're too big now? I'm like, we haven't even had a conversation. Do you mean I think I'm too big? And I've had these conversations with people. It never really goes further than that though, because I understand that, respectfully, some people's mindsets are stuck in the perimeter of their city. So when someone leaves, they get confused why they haven't left yet when they did what you did. You know what I mean? So it's never like a malice or a disrespect thing or like a hating thing. I just like, it's sad a lot of the time, and a lot of the young people I have worked with, a lot of my friends, I'm gonna convince them that London isn't far. I'm gonna convince them that your man can go holiday 4 times a year if we want to. Because the same money you spend on weed and you spend on drugs, you spend on alcohol, you save to a side, that's 2 holidays, but you don't realize because you're stuck in the city with a small mentality. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Thank you. So next round, we've got our fast questions, and they're just a speed round, so answer as honestly and as quickly as possible. Are you ready?
I'm ready like Breck. Let's go.
Wicked. So without telling me the name of the city you're from, tell me where you are from.
Yam Yam, the Yam Yam city.
Wicked. And what artist got you through lockdown?
Oh, Burna Boy, myself, Drake, Sizzla, and Capleton. Yeah, Capleton, defo Capleton actually. Sorry, yeah, Capleton.
Which artist would you like to connect with, both from the UK and USA?
From the USA, who do I like? It would have to be some niche artist. Like there's a group called They, and I've only heard like a few of their tracks, but just their energy or that kind of vibe. And there's this other guy that I met called Toby. I'm aware of, called Toby, Tobe. He's very like Kendrick Lamar-ish, but with a Busta Rhymes energy. And then from the UK, maybe, I don't know, Skepta or something. Like it's obvious ones, Skepta, like the ones that are doing well, like ones that I like grew up on. You know what I mean?
Wicked. R&B or UK garage?
Ooh. UK garage, because that's like it's like my DNA. But R&B, I grew up on it too. But UK garage.
Wicked. Grime or drill?
Grime on drill. How about that?
Ooh.
Grime on drill.
Okay.
That's what I like. You know what I mean?
And finally, any advice for any upcoming artists?
Best advice I can give is that, this is a new piece of advice. I think Elon Musk must have said something about, if you're an entrepreneur and I'm paraphrasing, if you're an entrepreneur and you're asking for help, then you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, because the whole point of being an artist, in a sense, unless you're trying to get signed like immediately, is to like go through that resilience. And I think this 2020 period was a defo good test to see who's still an artist after, you know what I mean? Like that is a great metaphor for what the music industry is like. Point being is things are scarce. Some people are winning, a lot of people are losing. And how can you make yourself present in a time where things are not necessarily normal or not necessarily the obvious way to kind of, get a song out? There's big artists like now, like Central C, Millions, can't think, even like Dutch or whatever, but in a sense of they got big during the pandemic. Bear in mind, they can't perform. Like that's a different level. So if there was no pandemic, imagine how high they would have been, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
It's almost like utilizing that mentality of like, it don't matter of the environment or surroundings or the situation. If you know your art and you can, make good connections and you put money behind it, you'll be all right. You get me?
That's wicked. That's all the questions. Thank you so much. So for anybody that wants to stay connected with you via your socials, can you let them know where we can find you, please?
So I've kind of changed my name from Vital to Vital Powers. So if you search Vital Powers, you'll find me. But if not, it's Vital 0 on all social platforms, like my @ or iamvital.co.uk, and Radioactive will be out 27th of March. But I'm like gearing for everyone to pre-order it, whether it's on iTunes or Apple Music or Amazon. It will be on streaming and stuff, but the focus right now is to download or to purchase, man. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Signing out now from me, Alia Iona, and Vital Powers. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Love.